Hi everyone. For 7th grade Elevate, we are working on adding and subtracting rational numbers today. Even though the lesson is entitled Rational Numbers, students will specifically be working with integers, which are positive or negative whole numbers. So no fractions, no decimals. So you're going to spend the first 2 minutes, as always, going over the intro, letting students know how to add numbers using the number line. So if we have 3 plus 2, students are always going to start at 0 and then find their way from 0 to 3. And then because they ask us to add 2, we are going to add 2 starting from the 3 line. That leaves us at 5 as our answer. That part is going to be easy for kids. However, subtraction is a little bit more complex. So it tells us you can subtract a number by adding its opposite or additive inverse. In some classes, students may have learned keep, change. So when we're subtracting 6 minus negative 2, students will have to keep the first subtrahend as 6. Then they will, instead of subtracting, use addition. And then they will have to change the second subtrahend into a positive number. So it was negative before, now it's positive. So I'll say that again. We're keeping the first, changing the subtraction sign to an addition sign. That's always going to stay the same because in subtraction we are doing the additive inverse. So subtraction will always turn to addition. And then we're changing the second subtrahend into its opposite. So before was subtraction, now it's addition. So essentially this is our new equation, 6 plus 2, which looks very similar to this. So once we do our keep, change, we're going to use whatever method we've been doing for addition. So we're starting at 0, adding 6, and then from 6, we're going to add 2 on to that, leaving us at 8. So in other words, 6 minus negative 2 is equal to 8. So you are going to spend about 7 minutes after your intro showing students how to add on the number line and subtract on the number line using the same method, right? So again, we have negative 4 plus negative 3. Because this is addition, it's easy for us. We are just going to model what we see, right? So we always will start at 0, find our way to negative 4. From 0 to negative 4, we know that the negative 4 is to the left of the number line. And then from negative 4, we are also addition, going to subtract another negative 3. So from negative 4, we are going to also subtract a negative 3. That leaves us at negative 7. Again, with subtraction, we want to use that keep, change method. So we have negative 2 minus negative 5. We are going to keep that negative 2. Instead of subtraction, we are going to go ahead and use addition. And then we are going to change the second subtrahend. Since it's a negative number now, we are going to change it to a positive. So our new equation becomes negative 2 plus 5. Again, starting at 0. We are going to move to the left of the number line 2 spaces because they want us to subtract 2. And then from there, we are going to add on 5. Because it's asking us to add on 5, we need to move to the right of the number line. And on this sheet, it's at the bottom, but you could also do it at the top. So 5 spaces to the right from where we left off leaves us at positive 3. So then you'll launch students into a 2-minute turn and talk. It says to answer the subtraction problem, -5 minus -8. Robert wrote the addition problem as 5 plus 8 equals 13. What would you tell Robert about his work? Well, we know in order to do the additive inverse, we must keep the first part the same, and Robert did not. He changed -5 to +5. He should have left it as a -5, so he is incorrect. After the turn and talk, launch students into about 5 to 7 minutes to work on questions 1 and 4. So 1 addition question, 1 subtraction question. And then from there, circulate to see which students are getting it, answer any misconceptions that they have, and then launch them into about 7 minutes of exit ticket time, which will be questions 2 and 3. Again, 1 subtraction question, 1 addition question. There are 5 parts. Did they do both number lines correct? Did they get the sums correct? And then were they able to rewrite the equation?